LeMay Anderson had been.
She's got all of this progeny, and she attends every game any one of her relatives ever played.
Yeah.
She did that religiously.
Yeah. So they were good for the town, but that's where they came from. Where Vic Lumbum came from, I don't know, but he was.
But he was the pharmacist in Warroad.
He worked for.
Oh, he worked for somebody.
Then he started. Yeah, he must have started the
Who had the
store.
Holland or somebody had it here. I don't remember.
That's right. You're
Yeah,
right.
there's somebody named Holland.
Holland that had a pharmacy, but he bought the Rexall store out in Roseville.
Yeah, I remember that.
Sat
And
right
then-
next to the J.C. Penney store there.
Well,
And then he went out of business and went to just work as a pharmacist again at Wahlberg's. Fickens.
Who, Jack?
Jack,
I don't,
yeah.
I
Well,
don't.
Jack was running it, and we used to buy toilet paper by the case when we had these 5 boys or 4 boys and a girl. And Jack would always shake his head. I never saw anybody that buy toilet paper by the case.
Yeah.
That's what we did. We had a place to store it.
Yeah, so,
But Jack was a good athlete.
oh boy, he was better than Jim.
Yeah.
Dum dum. That's class.
Jim was taller.
Yeah.
He was a little 6 feet, a little better. Jack was about a 5'10" or something.
Yeah,
But he was a good athlete.
Yeah,
Loved duck hunting. That's how he died.
that's how he died.
Walking
Carting a
out
load of ducks out of the blind or out of the swamp.
of the slough, yeah.
Well, have you covered everything?
We gotta save some for the next time.
But you better check on Tick.
Yeah, I will. I've been
Oh,
thinking
for
every
sure.
time I look at those pictures, like, I gotta get a hold of BJ. That's how you call him now. I don't dare to call him Tick anymore, but it works.
Yeah.
That's the only
I'm
name
sorry
I
to
ever
hear
knew him
about the
by.
heart attack, though. I didn't know.
Yeah,
about
I haven't
big
heard that
time.
either.
It was 9 days they had him, right? It was
11, I think.
9 or 11 under coma. Is
Yeah.
it coma?
Medically induced coma,
Coma.
they call it.
Yeah.
Coma,
Yeah,
not coma.
medically induced coma.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but thank God he was at the hospital he was at. If he'd have been any
Yeah.
up in this country, he'd have been gone.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you, here's
But now he's okay, huh? Every
Oh,
no
yeah, he's-
brain damage or
nothing. Well, I don't know about that.
How could you tell?
He's fine.
Yeah, but I'll tell you here something. You know, there's lots of disadvantages of living in a small town, but there's some advantages.
Oh, yeah.
For example, an example this morning, I walk into the gas station, you know, where you are, and everybody,
Yeah.
they come there and visit, and they're talking about some guy. His name happened to be Roy Sorrells, lived by himself out in the country out here, has had a toe or gangrene in the foot or something, so he's had toe cut off and this kind of business. But he always would go in and have coffee in the morning in a restaurant uptown where there's about 10, 11 guys there.
Yeah.
You
Didn't
get
show
the
up
wrong
one
name,
day.
though.
So
They went
one
to
of the
check on him.
guys
He went out there.
went out to his house, couldn't get in, so he calls the guy that runs the Lee Olson that runs the little gas station
Mhm.
there, because Roy used to come in there all the time if he knew how to get into Roy's house, because Roy hadn't showed up. And his pickup was outside out there, and this Lee Olson said, "Yeah, I know how to get in there." So Lee went out there and got the house opened up, and there's Roy laying on the floor, had had a stroke. You know, how long he'd been laying there, I don't know. But if he'd have been someplace else,
Yeah.
big town or something,
It expired.
yeah, I mean, nobody might have
Checked on him. Well,
check on him.
Soon enough, yeah.
yeah. Well, they've made an industry. I read an article not long ago in Japan. An industry has been created where they live in very small apartments there, and if somebody expires, and they end up decomposing in the property for months before anybody. The only way that they know somebody's died in there is the smell finally rafts out into the hallways and other apartments, and by that time, the contamination is so intense that you have to bring in professional help to
Make it livable
recondition,
again.
make it livable again. And it's a huge industry
Yeah.
in Japan
Yeah.
because they
So small and so crowded.
and no social. What you're saying, no social contact,
Yeah.
none.
And then, so they bring this point up to me, we got a mail delivery guy that handles the Warroad estates and all of this kind of stuff around here. It comes out of Thief River every day and delivers mail in the rural part of some parts of Warroad here. It's a harder.
Yeah,
He's a sports fan, and he pushes Thief River, and the Warroad guys push Warroad.
sure.
But on his mail route, they tell me that, hey, if something's out of kilter, some car's been sitting there too long or something, he notices this and contacts somebody. It's just like it's a traveling person that's looking after
Yeah.
people. But that happens in a small town. That isn't the first time that something like this has happened, where
Yeah.
somebody notices, hey, somebody's missing.
Yeah,
What's up with them? Did they?
they go and check.
Yeah,
Sometimes it's nothing, they
Yeah.
were gone and they didn't tell anybody,
Yeah.
but sometimes it means something.
yeah. So that's one advantage of being in the sticks. You got no place to go spend your money either.
That's helpful.
Huh? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
You get in
can't.
the Twin Cities, there's lots of places to
Oh
spend.
God,
money.
is there ever? Is there ever?
And people have.
Place like Grand Forks would be worse for me than the cities, because all these different places would be easier to get to.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
a little bit easier, but